Shakalaka turner!
Welcome back to the Millennial Classics, y'all. My name is Q.
And I'm Burry.
And on this show, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events from our generation. Burry, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to get into this. A lot of brewing stuff here. I don't know if there's a lot of culture-changing Events, but I think it's like maybe a precursor, maybe World War III,
Right?
Who knows? Probably the next time we do this, the election will probably be in full swing. Whoever's controlling the puppets of Biden and Trump will be able to walk them over to the stage and get some speeches going.
This is the culture-changing events. We're talking culture-changing events. Burry, do you want to start or do you want me to just jump off?
You start because
it's the most important news ever to hit the news station. Drake versus everybody.
Yeah.
Drake versus everybody.
Well, it's Drake versus Kendrick.
Okay, yes, it is Drake versus Kendrick, but everyone else wants to chime in. Talking about your favorite rapper of all time. Everyone is talking shit about everyone constantly, but it doesn't seem like everybody. It's literally everyone talking shit about Drake.
Listen,
because that is the truth. It is the truth. He is the king. He's the man on top right now.
It is Drake season, but I will say, well, technically it's Taylor season. We're doing completely honest.
I'm
and
sure.
Drake admitted it. Drake admitted it. Yes, it's Drake versus Kendrick.
Yep.
Right? It is 20v1 because essentially everyone's teaming up. That was the corniest shit we heard from Kanye when he was like, yeah, Future called me. He said, we're taking down Drake. Done. I'm always here for it. The corniest shit I heard. The biggest loser of this entire thing is J. Cole. The year of our Lord 2023, October 6th. Drake and J. Cole released First Person Shooter. Banger of a song.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. And in it, J. Cole states categorically that him, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar are the big three of rap.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty generous. Everyone that's magnanimous of him. And
the song was a hit, and everyone was like, obviously.
Yeah.
There was no like fight back. There was no pushback.
Yep. These three are like the biggest out right now.
Yep.
And the only person who could maybe feel salty is maybe Future. But that's about it.
Yeah.
March 22nd, 2024. So it's been a couple months. Kendrick Lamar responds on Metro Boomin and Future song like that, slamming both rappers and saying it's not a big three, it's just big me.
Yes, right? Yes.
So here's the thing with that. The other thing with like that is it was pretty much number one for like 5 weeks in a row. So it wasn't like, someone put a diss out and it flopped and no one gave a shit. This shit was number one.
At this point, First Person Shooter was a huge hit on Drake's new album, and then Like That is just a feature on Metro Boomin's song. The thing is, when you hear First Person Shooter, you don't think of it as a diss track. It's just them talking.
Yeah, it's not a diss track at all.
It's not at all. But then Like That is straight diss track like shit.
Right. And here's the thing you have to understand for those of you at home that are maybe too young to realize. We've already been here before.
Yeah.
This isn't World War I. This is World War II because Kendrick's dropped control. He's come at everyone. Back then, he was an OG, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to compare Kendrick to Hitler, even though they're probably both the same height and both the same size. But I will say it's the second coming, right? This is World War II. Kendrick's hopping on now, but we've all been there. We know Kendrick's going to kill it.
Yes,
what is everyone else going to do? Right? Appeasement? Are we going to let him take Poland? Or are we going to come right back at him? Poland in this situation is J. Cole. Because J. Cole dropped his own Lamar diss track called 7 Minute Drill, right? Where he fired warning shots to the rapper and accused him of seeking attention and slamming. That happened April 5th. So March 22nd to April 5th. This is quick. Boom, boom, boom. Just 2 days later, J. Cole backs down.
I'm sorry.
He felt pressured.
I didn't feel right.
The world want to see blood. Honestly, he's the worst type of person. Either you don't respond and you keep it quiet and you just live your life. You're a millionaire. You're good. I mean, to be honest, like I would probably rather listen to J. Cole's songs like on a day-to-day basis more than Kendrick's songs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Right?
Oh, 100%. Maybe it is close for some people, but it's not, though. It's
no one's listening to that jazz Untitled number 65.
Yeah.
You go on the bus.
It's
No one wants to listen to that. All right. Untitled number 83. The world is your oyster. I was a poet once. Like, no one wants to hear that shit. Like, we all acknowledge that Kendrick.
He's a rapper's rapper, but he's not the people's rapper.
He's not a rapper's rapper.
Yes, he is.
He's a rapper's third eye. That's what he is. That's the type of level he's on. Okay.
Of course. Good on him.
So J. Cole backed out, and this At this point, everyone's like, what the fuck is going on here?
That was the saddest thing.
But
Like, honestly, though.
yeah,
You
but
know, it's like when you go to those boxing matches and everyone, like, when they stand next to each other, they talk all this shit. And he's like talking shit. And he's like, you know what? I'm sorry. It's sad. It's horrible. I don't even
no.
like to see it.
Drake responds. And at this point, people have been like, yo, it's April 13th. That shit dropped 20 seconds. This is like 3 weeks. Everyone's like, where's Drake? Where's Drake? Where's Drake? His response, leaks, push-ups. Dope. And here's the thing with Drake. Lamar will have bars. Kendrick will have bars for you. Drake will get into the fucking petty shit. That's a good like that petty shit. Like the shit that don't matter, but kind of matters. Like you never knew it matters. Like your Kendrick has size 6 feet. And the worst part is his manager is like tweeting like, nah, Kendrick has size 8.5 feet. They're perfectly normal feet. It's like, dog, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like Drake knows the petty shit that is hilarious. Drake is objectively out of these 3 guys the funniest guy.
Yeah, no, most definitely. But because J. Cole and Kendrick are such conscious, serious rappers, they like, you know, they
take themselves so seriously. Exactly. I want to be a good father.
Yeah. Can you stop?
I'll just say, like, Drake really knows, calls him short. It's funny. And then he also drops Champagne Moments, which is Drake with an AI
Tupac. Yep.
That was Taylor Made Freestyle. Rick Ross jumped in on this. Drake sent a marching band to Metro Boomin's strip club of choice. And he said, Metro, shut the hell up and play some drums, nigga.
God damn.
I mean, funny.
It is.
Because at the end of the day, Metro was the one that is facilitating this beef.
Yeah.
So at this point, the memes come out where it's like, it's 20v1, right?
Yeah.
It's the Avengers because Metro's getting Kendrick, Kanye, Future, and Rick Ross, The Weeknd. And it's kind of like everyone's against the Kingpin, which I think only makes Drake look better.
100%. It just does.
You'd rather be Thanos. You'd rather be Thanos.
Exactly. You don't want to be part
Doctor
of the
Strange. What the fuck?
Shaking hands, apologizing.
Kanye hopped in on the beef, did a remix of Like That. I watched it a couple times. We're at the point where I'm the biggest Kanye fan. His teeth situation is scaring me a bit.
Worrisome. It reminds me of Leonardo DiCaprio in Killers of the Flower Moon. You're like, damn. It's just.
And here's the thing. It's a spiral. There's a close connection to someone else on this list that we're going to go over. But we are getting to an issue with Kanye. But he is a number one hit in the country.
Yeah, it is.
And I can talk a lot of shit, but I got his vinyl coming in the mail. So, yeah.
And then yesterday. Was it yesterday 30th, or the day before?
Day before on a vernal equinox. I just made that up. Kendrick Lamar dropped Euphoria, a 6-minute diss track, which starts out so shit. It starts out like one of those.
Like I'm the poet. Exactly. Just like you were saying. The third eye.
Dude, it's like, yo, get the incense out because this fucking dude is smoking us out. But Kendrick gets him. Kendrick cooks him a bit. Cooks him, gets some bars.
It lingers too long.
I don't know. It's like Drake knows the petty shit that sticks in your head. All of Kendrick's shit is like, yeah, like Drake might have got his abs done. He's biracial and he says the word nigga too much.
Yeah.
And he just hop on some shit. But these are all like racial systemic issues.
And then he goes about
I really
like
don't
just
give a fuck about it. I'm gonna be real with you. This is supposed to be fun for me. This is like when you go to McDonald's and it's like a Ronald McDonald's fund for cancer kids, and you're like, dog, I came here for chicken nuggets.
And nuggets, right? Give me the sweet and sour sauce. Don't tell me about some
hand over the sweet and sour sauce, and don't tell me about fucking kids
dying.
Please don't, dog. Keep it light. So it's kind of like that.
Keep it light sometimes. He talks about him standing next to Sexy Red. But you're right. It's just heavy duty shit because he's like, you're not a good father. And it's like, damn, man.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to put money down on stake, shout out Drake, I would bet that he wasn't a good father. But who knows? Maybe.
Who knows? I'm so happy that you broke it down just the way you did. I'm not going to lie to you. Especially when it came to the Metro Boomin stuff. I'm not listening to them heavy enough to understand all of the subliminals or all of the actual disses that are just out there. But if you don't know the what's happening in the industry, everyone keeps talking to Drake about the fact that he had made a lawsuit against someone on a track and it's like, I don't know the details of these people's lives. So that's why you're right when you say the petty shit hits just better because the people can understand it. When you hit the hardcore shit, like you're not a good father, it just makes the fans stay on one side. I don't believe you. you. But the petty shit is like, damn, size 6? Really?
Yeah,
You know?
crazy. That shit's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you are listening it for the enjoyment of rap, for the art of rap, for the art of like a lyricist, do you still put Drake number like out
No,
of
no, no.
all of those tracks?
Let's be real.
Out of all of those tracks, tell like give
Let's
me
say nothing. Let's just speak on it right now. Kendrick's a better rapper.
he does.
And party at the party playing with us. And Buck a kind of weird case wise. Certified lover boy.
I'm saying
Always
like
will be.
the verse on like that is the best diss verse I think from
I don't
everything
even
that
like
you just mentioned.
that as a song, to be honest.
No, not the song. I'm
I,
just saying that verse. Just like when you listen.
it's okay. It's okay.
What diss track from everything that you just mentioned do you think is going to be on your most replayed in 2024?
It's either like that because of the song itself is an actual song.
Yep.
Just Kendrick just says two things on it, essentially. Yeah. Like
but they hit hard.
It hits hard, but honestly, out of all this, first person shooter.
Yeah, you're right. And it is, like you said, it's also another song.
Yeah, push-ups is hilarious. And the thing with all this stuff is it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like Kendrick auteur that has hits, right? Whereas Drake, it's like one's Steven Spielberg and one's like Nolan. Like Christopher Nolan has hits, right?
Yep.
But he ain't giant. It's like James Cameron. He ain't got Avatar. He ain't got $2 billion
exactly.
hits.
Yeah.
He ain't selling out arenas in New Zealand.
Yeah. You have to watch Tenet 4 different times to
Yeah.
understand what is going on. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the thing. Like, but people think Christopher Nolan's an artist, you know?
Exactly.
Like people think he's putting something behind the screen, whereas James Cameron, they're like, he knows visuals. He knows the VFX, right?
Exactly.
He knows how to get those beats going and he knows the melodies, but he doesn't have
him and Spielberg are the blockbuster kings.
Right, Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, all that stuff. But he's not gonna be winning Oscars, right?
The Oscar goes to Steven Spielberg.
And the Oscar goes to Steven Spielberg.
So that's how I feel this is. And it's one of those things where Kendrick's good, but at the end of the day, the other thing is Kendrick drops an album every 4 years, 3 years. Drake kind of can't do that. He's number one in the game.
Every year for the past 10 plus years.
Right. Now his albums have been getting worse. I mean, enough said. But all right. So I think we've covered the whole thing. He is still the biggest rapper in the planet.
Just before we move on, how do you see this ending? Do you see Drake dropping again?
This is honestly my prediction. A recently divorced Chance the Rapper hops into the beef.
For what? Who? How? Where does he fit in this life?
Tries to drop a peace healing song with Jesus. And I think that causes the Pope to get in and squash this beef. I honestly think Chance the Rapper, we have to talk about this. It has nothing to do with all this. I just wanted to talk about it because he just got divorced.
Yeah.
I'm praying that this seismic life change helps.
Rights the ship. Right?
I think so. People think I'm blaming it on the wife. I'm not. Not at all.
It's a mindset.
The blame swirly goes on Chance the Rapper. I saw you after Coloring Book. You were doing well. You decided to stop rapping about drugs and alcohol and start doing this Jesus shit.
Yeah.
This is on you. Put the 3 hat back on, take some mushrooms,
yeah,
and make some hits, dog.
Make some hits. When he first dropped, right? People were like, Kid Cudi was going to take the Kanye torch. And it was like, no, Chance is the guy.
Chancellor, the rapper.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was like Kanye's torchman. I just have to say this for just the culture and like the history of hip hop. Is this going to go down like the Jay-Z Nas? Or do you think it's just so silly? Because it feels so convoluted. It feels so messy.
I also wonder, and I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think streaming has caused, because now we have this issue and it's honestly not just rap. It's also acting where the biggest guys
the last time we talked
hanging around.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you look at the number one guys and it's like, yo, Kanye's still getting number one hits.
Yeah.
Future, Drake, these guys are all like 35 and up, 40 and up. And it's like, you look back and then look at movies. Who's number one guys? It's like Joaquin Phoenix, Denzel still getting number one hits. Tom Hanks still getting number one hits. Tom Cruise had the number one hit. I mean, even all the action stars, all those Avengers guys, they're all above 40. All the Chris's, all the motherfuckers are all above 40. The only guy that's still young is Chalamet. He's doing Wonka and Dune and shit.
Who's Spider-Man? What's his name?
That dude. Yeah.
That dude. Yeah.
But that's my point. Tom Holland. What's another movie he's done besides Spider-Man?
It's that game, Uncharted.
I'll wait. All right, cool. Uncharted. because we get those guys that pop up a little bit. They pop up for a year or two. Little baby hot. Last album didn't do well. Who's the dude that always does that? Yeah, I mean that dude.
Kodak Black. Wait, who are you talking about?
No, fuck. Not Lil Baby, the other guy.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I
he did Levitating with Dua Lipa.
I know the song, but I don't know who he is. And I love this comparison that you make.
The baby.
Yes, the baby.
Right. All these guys, they go on tour and then they can't sell fucking arenas. These guys will have monster streams, and then when they actually go on tour, and that's the same thing with these movie guys. You know, you'll get this guy, Reggie Jean Page, he killed it in Bridgerton, 200 million views, and then what movie is he doing? How is the opening? It's like there's a big disconnect. Even Billie Eilish's new shit fucking flopped.
So are you saying this is streaming's fault, or are you saying that this is just the move to the next form of entertainment where there's not going to be any big hitters? Because I like the way you described it, made me go directly to what everyone has been saying about the NBA, how Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron James were all knocked out, but they are big hitters. The Anthony Edwards, the Joker, the Luka Doncic. Like, so you see it coming.
Like, even up to now, when people are doing top 10, they're like, yo, you got to include KD. You got to include Steph Curry. You got to include LeBron. Like, when they were trying to figure out where Tatum fit, it's like, I take all those guys over Tatum. I take all those guys. So
you can't do that for the music.
But music is the same thing.
No,
right?
I'm saying
it
Drake. But I'm saying this next generation. No one, you're not putting Little Baby in that conversation. You're not putting Kodak Black in that conversation. Right. So I see what you mean.
Even movies, it's like, I got to open a movie tomorrow. Am I picking the Miles Teller?
Sadly, no.
Am I picking the dude from who did that Sydney Sweeney shit? Am I picking Sydney Sweeney?
No.
Well, maybe just to meet her, but you get my point. It's like we are so individualized. It's kind of like when streaming started and you could actually pick what you wanted to watch. Time froze in the 2010s. And then that shit just kept on moving forward because back in the day, the industry would be able to push someone up.
Yeah.
Right? They'd be like, nah, Tom Holland's next up. He's gonna be in this movie, and you're gonna like him.
Exactly.
Or
Chalamet.
Right. Little baby's coming up. He's gonna go on tour with Drake. You're gonna like him with Drake. Then he's gonna go on tour by himself and all this shit. But now it's all individual. You got to stand by yourself, and I think that's held a lot of people back, and it's also kept the guys that are already on top.
The thing that you're talking about is so important because you're right. It is touching on every form of entertainment, except for the only form of entertainment that is straight meritocracy, which is the sporting events. Because
and YouTube.
Oh yeah, well, I guess.
Those are the only guys that are completely new. Really completely new.
Okay.
Like Mr. Beast, I'm KBHD, all these guys. And that's honestly probably the issue. All those guys that are those guys' fans probably would be going to Billie Eilish concert. Probably would be going to all these Tom Holland's new small movie. But what are they doing? They're watching
YouTube for free. Yep.
TikTok. They're on TikTok, exactly. They're on YouTube. They don't really give a shit. They don't want to go to the movies. So who's liking Timothy Chalamet? 40-year-old fucking people. I'm gonna go see Timothy Chalamet. Sad as fuck. All right, let's go.
I love that. All right.
That was just a rant. I'm sorry.
No, that was perfect. That's exactly what I want. Like the changing of the culture. You described it so perfectly right there. I love that.
Okay, we got to talk about this shit. I honestly think if you told me at the beginning of this year, biggest L was, I would say Trump.
Ooh,
right?
Okay.
I would say Trump, because he's getting hit with all these lawsuits. Like, he started off the year top of the polls. They've been sliding and sliding and sliding. And if you'd asked me like October last year, I'd have been like, yo, Biden's washed. He's walking off the stage the wrong direction. But then all this shit started hitting, right? And then Biden had that great speech.
The State of the Union.
State of the Union.
Yep.
And then Trump just not looking good at these courtroom events, having to pay giant fines. And it's like, dude, this dude does not look like about it. And then boom, Truth Social, Trump puts that out of his backhand. He says, this shit is my shit. We're going to be raising billions of dollars, put it on the stock market. I'm now worth 1.6 billion or whatever. It's one of those things where it's like, this dude might be the embodiment of the American dream. He might be the greatest grifter this country's ever seen. He might grift his way out of like 5 lawsuits, back into the presidency. Like, this dude is like changing American laws And it's at the point now where it's almost impressive. Before, like the first time, all right, it was a fluke. Da, 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 da. He hit an audience that didn't know about to be heard. At this point, he's villain number one. Everyone knows who he is.
Exactly.
Like there's people in his own party that don't like him. Like there's a lot of people that don't like him in general. The DA is being like, you got to pay 400 million. I don't know how he's doing it. He's still
exactly, and it still feels like he's Teflon Don. Like they can't get to him.
Teflon.
They can't cut through
Teflon.
the shit. I actually
people around him are going down like flies. I mean,
Exactly.
you got lawyers, A's, people going to jail. I mean, it honestly is like, you know, when you got like a drug kingpin, and people just going down around him, like, yo, you taking a charge, you taking a charge, you taking a charge. That's what it feels like. But no one started touching Pablo Escobar.
Exactly. And it's crazy because it's like Pablo Escobar status, but the cameras don't stop recording him.
Mhm.
And he gets in front of on these stages and talks his shit constantly. But then when he goes to court, he's falling asleep all day.
And
how do you stop this? How do you stop this fucking unstoppable force?
And I think black people like him now more than before. I think Hispanic people like him now more than before. They showed a clip of him in like Harlem at the bodega signing shit. He's at WWE signing shit. He's at UFC he's signing shit.
He's
hand clasps.
Coming out with his own shoe at the.
My!
It's
crazy. This dude's a superstar, and it honestly makes you think. Like I don't even know if the history books are going to get this right. You know,
because it just seems so unbelievably insane. Like
right.
Unbelievably.
I don't know if the history books are going to get this one right.
Because I don't know what's happening right now, and I'm living through it.
I have no idea.
Well, they do say hindsight is 20/20, but it's almost like, how is he getting away with it?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can survive. Like not even
He's getting the Supreme Court to say like presidents can do like actively anything. That's insane work.
I don't know the details of what you were talking about Truth Social. What is happening with Truth Social? Is he literally making it a public company? Like what is
so it became public. Essentially what it is he owns most of the stock.
Yep.
So he started it. It started as a blog, turned it into a company, started it into a like alternative Twitter for conservatives that have their free speech without the woke culture shutting down their free thinking thoughts.
Amazing ideas. Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
He has 7 million followers on there. There's about 5 million active users. So it's more than like, you know, like the parlors and all the other ones. But it's essentially at this point, the GameStop shit.
Okay.
You have a lot of rabid fans that are just buying and buying and buying the stock and propping it up. And then the higher it goes, Trump gets like escalator benefits. Like
of course, because he
more stock. So I don't know how much he can pull out, if he can pull it out, all this stuff. But he can borrow money out of it.
Exactly.
Right. And he owed 460 million.
Yeah.
And his bonds and all this stuff. And
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how Elon bought Twitter, by like leveraging his stock in Tesla and just like using that as leverage to get the loan.
That's how you have to do it. You don't pay taxes. But yeah, so I just think this dude is like honestly one of the greatest grifters of all time.
I don't like he's got so many of these lawsuits out, but the one that was about him saying that his properties were much higher than they actually are, the judge decided that he needed to pay $500 million plus, and he didn't have the money. So the fact that he made it public just now, it makes sense that this would be his biggest cash grab. But the thing is, he's doing his dirty laundry out in the open, and everyone can see it happening.
He's saying, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna do this shit. It's honestly crazy. It's like bringing your own bottle to the club and then pouring it in front of the bouncer and being like, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah. Player, I own the fucking place. What are you gonna do about it?
I've never seen more people care about women's sports until Caitlin Clark. Ooh, I mean, when I tell you the way that Caitlin Clark has just catapulted the NCAA and now WNBA into the stratosphere. She's about to get a $20 million deal from Nike. The viewership for the NCAA Iowa versus South Carolina was the most viewed NCAA. Was it ever, or was it just last year? Of last year.
Of last year.
Right.
All right. Let's parse out the facts from the fiction.
Please help.
It was very popular. Let's be honest. They want to make sure. No, the Final Four games are on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Because they schedule it on the weekend, it means the women's play on Friday and then the men play on Saturday, which means the women play on Sunday night, right, when everyone's free, and then the men play on Monday night. So that automatically means Sunday the ratings are going to be more
It's going to be much
because,
higher.
and that's not taken away from women. The women's ratings were crazy this year, and I think most of it is Caitlin Clark, and I think she's a Steph Curry figure, and I think the WNBA would be dumb not to take advantage of that. A lot of people, if they can keep this up, I think they need to get people the butts in seats because I can tell you right now, tickets is cheap over here.
Yeah.
Tickets is very cheap.
Yep.
And I think they have to figure out a way to A, get this easy on TV. B, maybe FanDuel can throw a little some shit on there, you know?
No, but the reason I'm
the memes have been crazy. All right, hypothetically, right? We're all single here in this hypothetical world.
Yes.
A 6'10" Lithuanian hits you up on Instagram and is like, hey, I'm in Sacramento on Tuesday. You want to get flown out? That's going to be happening more and more. These dudes
Do
are
you
going to
believe it? Are you insane? You're insane if you think that's actually going to happen.
No, that's going to start to happen. The way women be getting flown out in spirit, men out here are going to be flown out. They're going to be showing up with the neck pillows. They're going to have to get their skincare routine done.
That's right.
Before the WNBA player shows up, all pampered and shit, ready for the hotel room, candles out, and all that shit. That's all going to happen soon. It's fun to watch, and they just have to make sure they keep up the momentum.
I didn't know how similar watching women's basketball to the men's, especially when it comes to the NCAA. I could compare those two, very much so.
Essentially, just no dunks.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. It's very, very similar. And I don't see a reason why the momentum will stop in the women's NCAA. I am so hopeful that she can carry that momentum into the WNBA, but just hearing some of the women from the WNBA speak, like the Sue Birds, and the way that they talk about it is that she's not going to be as good when she gets there. And I don't know.
Haters.
And I don't know if you just need the character, the name, or does she actually have to be that good in the WNBA?
I think they said the same shit about Steph, to be honest. Undersized, can shoot very well, but they're not gonna let him get that shot off in the NBA, right? And then they're gonna let him get that shot off in the NBA. That's just what's gonna happen. We've all seen her pull up from 30 feet.
Exactly.
You can't guard that.
Multiple times in a single game. Yeah. The Iowa versus the LSU game was epic. I watched that game start to finish.
Besides Martin, that Iowa team was bummy.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is literally set a screen 30 feet away from the basket. Think about how insane that is. Set a screen 30 feet away from the basket. Give her time, and then she'll fucking drain that shit. And if you double her 30 feet away from the basket, whoever is close to the basket will just get an easy bucket.
And she's got the eye for the assists.
That's why this is difficult.
You're right. Last thing about Caitlin Clark before we move on. When she decided she's going to the WNBA, she went in, she got drafted, whatever team got her. And then it came out of what her salary was, and people were feeling some type of way. Like, this is crazy. $300,000. That's insane.
No.
Do you think it's fair?
For 4 years.
Exactly. For 4 years. That's people were like, the math ends up being like $75,000 to $80,000 a year. Maburi, when I hear that, and I'm like,
that's a Mabur Mackay salary is what that is.
That's what I'm saying.
But you know what? You know how you can change that? Everyone that's sick to their stomach that Caitlin Clark isn't going to be able to afford that $5 million mansion in whatever city she got drafted into. Go watch an WNBA game.
Yeah.
Don't yell at me.
Exactly.
Honestly, just watch it. Watch it.
Yeah, you're right.
Their salaries will go up super quick. I guarantee you, the next WNBA TV deal, if 1 million people watch it every night, their salaries will. I mean, NBA games, regular season NBA games, they get like 1.1, 1.3. Yeah. Their TV deal is going to double this year. NBC is going to offer like 2.5 billion or some shit for half the games, less than half the games. And then ESPN is going to give them 2.5 for the other less than half the games. Think about that. That total package is going to be like 6 billion. They're averaging like 1.1 or 1.3 a game. Doesn't matter. If the WNBA can average 500K a game,
the money is going to go up.
The money's going to go up. Yeah. All you got to do is watch. Don't be outraged. Just watch.
Just watch. Be a fan, and they will get credit for the fandom. And that's how it works. That's how it works.
So, what team are you rooting for?
What do you mean? Right now? Celtics. What do you mean?
No, WNBA team.
Oh, I did ask.
I thought you were a feminist.
I'm not that much of a feminist. I asked the question.
Not an ally. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Colorado doesn't have a WNBA team.
Wow.
I have a reason.
Not an ally. My next thought: Orenthal Simpson died. You might know him as O.J. Simpson, American icon. People don't know this, but he was the first NFL player to rush for 2,000 yards. Think about how insane that is in the 70s. Insane work. This dude was a beast, and I mean that in the sporting sense only. As a character, and I don't know him personally. Only what I've seen on TV.
Yeah.
But I've seen him fake stab a news presenter.
I think it was his idea of a joke.
And I'll say this. Seems like he has a sense of humor. I don't know the dynamic between him, Nicole Brown Simpson, the family. I don't know any of that dynamic. I just know this. Crazy work that he died. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s last great role. We can say that. Did you see that? Did you see that show?
What,
the FX show?
Yeah.
With Cuba Gooding?
Yes.
I mean, amazing work. Really got him when the gloves.
You talking about that limited series?
Yeah, limited series.
Yep.
With Ross from
epic.
Friends.
Yep. It was epic.
Like the edge of my seat the entire time. Did he do it? Did he not do it? Did he do it? Did he not do it? To this day, I'm still wondering. To this day.
So is the rest of the world.
He did it.
See, he wasn't wondering for too long. Of course.
Yeah, no, I knew. Okay, he did it. He did it. He's a murderer. But here's the thing about that. Did it with the touch of class. No, he didn't. He's a complete murderer. He's gonna be rotting in hell. No class at all. Yeah. But I will say, fuck OJ. Let's just take this out and say fuck OJ.
I'm happy you brought that up because like the fake stabbing of the
you see that?
Yeah, of course I've seen that. The insanity of someone.
The balls on someone. It's almost on the Donald Trump level.
Yeah.
Of like, dude, you've gotten away with murder once. Maybe just relax.
Chill, bro. But he came out with that book, If I Did It, right? Like
this is how I would have done it.
Yeah, this is how I would have done it. And like just a deep cut here. When Sacha Baron Cohen did his I think it was like HBO series, he was like a yacht selling dude on the show that he had on HBO.
Yeah.
And O.J. Simpson was one of the guests.
Me and you, we got something in common. We both, lady killers.
Just deep ass cuts and like the nonchalance like level that he has talking about the gravest of fucking crimes ever, that he knows that the rest of the world thinks he's done it, it's just mind-blowing. And like you said, very similar to Donald Trump, these characters, these people seem quintessentially American in the craziest ways ever. Like they're like the picture perfect American crazy story.
If OJ did that in Indonesia, I don't care what job he had, he would have been hung.
Exactly.
If he did that in Iran, they would have found an old crane and hung his ass in the square.
Yeah, Vladimir Putin would have single-handedly put him out of his misery,
poisoned him in a park bench or some shit.
Exactly.
But
only in America. Only in America.
Right, real quick, up next, I got the solar eclipse.
Oh, that was on my list.
April 8th, 2024. We all drove or walked outside. We got some special sunglasses that we will immediately toss into the trash, and hopefully a penguin doesn't choke on it in 2 months.
In the landfill that we dump it in. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it. I didn't get to see much of it. I think in Colorado, it was like 45-50% of the covering. We weren't in the line, but you guys were close, right?
We were very close. I think we got 90-something%.
There you go.
It's all right. I mean, it's the sun. We see it every day. We see the moon every day. We see them together every day. Not together, but
yeah, you can see them both. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think, you go up there, it gets dark, semi-dark for a bit. It's interesting. If someone asks me, what do you remember about 2024 in 10 years? I will not say the solar eclipse.
Exactly. No.
If someone tells me what's the best thing you've ever seen with the sun, I'll tell them Euphoria season 6. It's just one of those things where I don't know. I mean, we stopped our work day, got those glasses, and went to the park to go see this thing. It was okay.
It's a nice thing your boss did. Yeah, it's a nice thing.
It's okay.
I did want to mention this because you just talked about the death. This was like part of my maybes, but the death of Akira Toriyama. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I'm only mentioning this because he's the they call them the mangakas of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And I think it was probably the biggest anime in the history. Like, to this date, it's the biggest anime. Been translated in the most languages of any anime ever. The amount of re-releases of that same story that has happened has beaten every other. I mean, it's like
it's no Yu Yu Hakusho. That'll be real.
Oh, you can say so, but the numbers would blow Yu Yu Hakusho.
Welcome to the Dark Tournament. Welcome back, Yusuke Urameshi.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is every single big anime that is currently
you're
out.
Right. No, you're right. It's the Marvel shit. It's colossal.
I just wanted to mention him. But my last topic that I have here, do you want to talk about Diddy? Do you want to mention?
Let's talk about Diddy real quick.
Yeah, because I feel like this is insane, bro. Yeah,
Diddy the Diddler.
The Diddler.
Let's talk about it. This is all alleged.
Alleged.
Let's just say ancillarily, Jay-Z has to be involved in this at some point.
Some way, somehow.
Jay has been in the industry. I mean, he shot someone in a club one time. All this shit. So, and he's been around since the early 90s too. So if we're talking about icons from the early 90s that have seen shit and done shit, they're still on top and have worth hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, then I think if you're going to go after Diddy for all this shit, I think you got to take a look at Jay.
Are you also going to add Dr. Dre in there?
Probably.
They talk about Diddy and Jay-Z as moguls of like multiple different companies and all this stuff. Dre really has been about the music outside of the beats.
Right. It's
so
really like Drake honestly was pretty low key until the beat shit hopped off.
Exactly.
And it was speakers. It was like, but
it made sense for a DJ to it's
right.
Like the most
it was like it was headphones and then literally like they bought the Apple saved them. So
but you're right about Jay-Z and if Diddy,
they're both New York guys that have been around for a bit and have some questionable shit. I mean, the rumors were he killed Pac, he put a hit out on, maybe even killed Biggie. Rumors of he's killed multiple people. He does weird sexual shit.
There's freak offs.
Right, the freak offs. You don't want to go to his house. You say no to a Diddy party. All this shit. So he's now in Antigua or whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm not going to give you the location, even if I knew it, because. But this shit just escalated so quick.
So quickly.
Here's the thing with this: just died quickly.
Wait, what do you mean died? It has not died.
Dude, are you hearing daily updates about Diddy?
No, we're not hearing daily updates about Diddy, but the raid happened like what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? All of his houses, like I think in LA and in Miami, I don't know if he has a place in New York, but all of his houses in the States all got raided.
Yo, honestly, and I'm not going to turn this into a defending Michael Jackson thing, but the FBI did raid Michael Jackson's shit and they found nothing.
Okay.
And the FBI don't miss. Like literally, when I'm saying you, the FBI, when they come,
especially when it's made public,
when they square their eyes on you, their conviction rate is literally like 90-something%. So took a shot at Michael Jackson. Everyone said he was a pedophile and all this shit. And I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'm just saying that they took a shot and missed, and they never miss. So they took a shot at Diddy and this motherfucker. First off,
it's been quiet since.
I need Diddy's lawyer because this motherfucker knew about the raid before it even happened.
Exactly. While it was happening. The lawyers.
While it was happening. Yeah. Dude, there's a video of him pacing in Miami waiting for his jet before the raid even happens. And you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Do I feel bad for him? No.
Of course not. No one feels bad for this dude.
If I had to put a ranking of when he goes to hell, is he gonna jump OJ? Or do you think OJ is gonna be like, hey, this is my spot in line. Wait behind me. Because I will stab ass.
I have no idea. It's just it depends on how many of these conspiracy theories are true. It depends on how diabolical it is. Because the truth of the matter is, when you're talking about Diddy, the crazy like you're a horrible person shit was everything that he did to Cassie, right? That was just like true debauchery, disgusting, horrible things.
Yeah.
Right.
And to be fair to most people would ask who's Cassie. So that's the thing.
I don't think if you're a millennial, I think every millennial knows who Cassie is.
Every millennial knows who Cassie is?
Most
you think every millennial, you think we go to Idaho, we say, hey, you're 26. Who's Cassie?
Yeah, maybe not. But my point was like when people are talking about these freak offs, it sounds like everyone who wasn't Diddy's partner was doing it on their own accord.
They were at a party.
And if you're hiring sex workers, say it's illegal to hire sex workers, but they were sex workers. So like, all I'm saying is he's not jumping OJ. OJ cut a woman's fucking head off.
Yeah, but then he's also here like getting hits done and like acting like a hitman.
And he did blow up Kid Cudi's car.
And I think he also threatens a lot of people.
Shit people know.
I think he threatens a lot of people and follows through with some of those threats. I think if you tell Dudley to fuck off, and I swear to God, if you don't fucking stop talking to me right now and walk the fuck away, and you do start doing some shit like that, tough guy. All right, last train to Paris bullshit, and then you're like, I think he's the type of dude that fucking lights your car on fire.
Yep,
some petty shit like that. So
that's not petty. Lighting your car on fire is not petty. That is death.
Drake would buy a better car,
exactly,
and give it to your wife.
Sadly, Drake knows how to cut you. He really does know how to cut you.
There's a rumor that Drake flew out a producer and his wife, and then gifted his that producer's wife like mad shit, and then slept with the producer's wife.
Look, I can understand why everyone in the industry hates this dude. I mean, like, why are you doing shit like that?
Drake. The last thing I want to talk about.
Talk to me.
UConn repeat champs. I think this cements UConn as one of the foremost programs in college basketball. I think fuck Kentucky. I think UConn. I think if Duke, Kentucky, UCLA, but UCLA hasn't won shit in like 30 years. Yeah. Kentucky hasn't won shit since 2014. They got their coach out of there this year. The Celtics are about to win the NBA. It has nothing to do with anything, but they're about to win the NBA.
Yeah, just pride in your people.
Next time we talk,
we'll find
out. Let's talk right after the Celtics hoist that championship, and then we'll have a great conversation about how. Oh, the Pats drafted Drake May, our quarterback for the future.
Oh shit.
Number 2.
And we have a new head coach. Are you worried? Are you nervous? People hated Bill Belichick. People fucking hated him. Like, right? I mean, like, it's just
the worst drafter. And watching that, I mean, you could tell year one that Mac Jones was not it, and then we kept him for 3 years. It's just that type of doubling down. At some point, his sons, he had like 3 sons in the organization that were like actual coaches. I'm just like, what the fuck? He's a GM and coach.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
He did a good job. Yeah. But yeah, they did a good job getting him out of there.
Real quick, I don't want the details, but have you watched a movie recently that you think could be a potential millennial classic?
Dune 2? Have we talked about it?
We sure did.
Okay, then I'm going to go see Challengers tomorrow.
Oh, shit. Yeah. With Zendaya. Yeah. About that life.
I'm hoping it's amazing.
Okay. You need to just watch this movie or the series, please. I know it's crazy, but The Baby Reindeer, it's one of these psychological. Did you try it?
Let's end this.
Did you try it?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the Millennial Classics. It's been Swartick, otherwise known as Q, and Burry Micaiah, otherwise known as Burry. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time. Have a great day.